I meant to tell you, I was talking about going up to the Savannah with the Weavers and coming back toward the village. We were buzzed by Micronesian Airlines, which is this fellow Emmett Kay has this Apache, Piper Apache, and he runs this small airline. It's kind of an independent deal around Micronesia here, or at least up in the Marianas. And so he carries this fellow Ken Jones around, who I think you sent us, or the Germans sent us a clipping on. There was an article on him in the December 15th issue of Time, that's 67, on page 103. It's called The Island Millionaire, and he's a big wheel on Guam. He owns, probably, he's in just about every type of business, and he's worth about $10 million, I guess, and so forth. Well, anyway, he started this big cattle ranch on Tinian, and so he's had arranged to come here to buy cattle, and they're going to buy about 500 head, I think. So anyway, he's been here several times, and this time he comes in with his private plane and buzzes the village. Well, it was a Sunday afternoon, and people just don't do much on Sunday afternoon. Well, anyway, no one went out to get him, so we were driving back, and he buzzed us a couple times, so Mr. Weaver knows him fairly well, and so he turned around and went to the airport. So we rode back with the pilot, Emmett, and Ken Jones, and in the meantime we got invited to dinner with him at the hotel and everything. So it's kind of a real interesting evening we had with these people up. There was Ken Jones and there was Lester Weaver. Well, Weaver has been a farmer in Venezuela for 20 years, and he ran Nelson Rockefeller's farm when he was down there. So these people all have very interesting lives, and you can really learn quite a bit by being with them.
We haven't had any meat for a long time because we haven't contacted anyone that was butchering their cow. We just haven't seemed to have gotten together with anybody. Right now, Mr. Jones is here, and he's buying 500 head of cattle, Greg? Buying 500 head of cattle, and he's either paying cash or supplying materials, and it's a pretty good deal for the people here, because when we buy materials, you buy them from Guam, and you have to pay to have them shipped over from Guam, and they have a duty when they go into Guam, and these materials are coming straight from Taiwan to Rota, and so it's quite a saving, a lot of cement, and then a lot of cement blocks. I think we'll see a lot of changes, and then there'll be a lot more cement houses going up now that people have the materials. So he's here right now. He rented a ship for $600 a day, and he brought trailer trucks and I guess all sorts of things that you need to get cattle. But most of the cattle here is very, well, I guess wild. You know, they're not usually fenced in really. Some of them are, some aren't. They're not ever roped, or they're just sort of let be, so that I guess they're having some trouble getting them rounded up. And we were watching them trying to get them from where they put them after they round them up into the M boat, which they were going to take them over to the ship on. And they were having a hard time. The cattle just wouldn't go in. And this was yesterday. I don't know how they're doing today. But they hope to get about 250 head on the ship and then take them to Tinian, where Jones has his cattle farm. It's about a 6-hour boat ride. And then come back and get another load, the rest of them, and take them over, and then go to Taiwan to get the rest of the materials, I guess mostly cement blocks, and then bring them over here. So that there are a lot of people working with rounding up cattle now and getting things like this. Is why we've had trouble getting meat, because most everyone's selling their cows to Jones. And I think agriculture is going to trying to improve the cattle here by controlling breeding. Mr. Weaver was talking about that. I've been doing a lot of work on the harbor here, but I don't know what future that holds. They seem to have been working on the harbor here for years and years and years. Mr. Ken Jones has just taken about 250 head of cattle off the island to his farm in Tinian, and he's paid a very good price for the cattle and has offered to give the people cement and cement blocks and reinforcing rods instead of money if they want, so that a lot of people are selling cattle and getting materials to build a cement house, which should do quite a bit for the island. With the frequency of typhoons out here, and the Marianas are in the typhoon belt, you really have to make a choice of having a house that's easily blown down and having no belongings, or not having belongings that you care about, really, not putting a lot of money into things that could be blown away, or having a strong house in which you can keep your belongings safely. A man named Mr. Jones from Guam, who seems to own most of Guam, has been here for the second time, rounding up cattle to take to his ranch on Tinian. So we've had a lot of cattle. I think about 500 head have left the island now to go to his ranch. But it doesn't really change our life any. We get just as much beef as we need now, it seems. He's bringing in building materials for the people that want to build houses, and otherwise he's paying them quite well.
Ken Jones finally got all his cattle off the island. It was quite a stressful situation there for a while. They were having, I think I told you, trouble getting the cattle onto the boat and getting them up to Tinian, but they finally got them on. It cost him $47,000 in all to get 500 head of cattle up there. But once he gets through all these growing pains of his ranch, I think he'll really be in fine shape up there and, again, be making a lot of money on the deal. But it does take a lot of capital and hard work to get some of these deals off the ground. But I guess once they really get rolling, it'll be really a great thing.